children versus adults to learn languages. And I will speak about this topic because this is a comparison, very common comparison about children just learn better than adults. Adults don't have the same neuroplasticity to learn languages, and we just use the, let's say, the gift of learning languages when we are adult, and that's a very controversial topic in science because we have the critical period hypothesis, which means that it's not the same thing when you learn a language when you are a child or a kid or a teenager, and afterwards in twenties, let's say, when you are start to learn a new language. Afterwards, the puberty could be a good threshold to learn a new language. Okay, in the myself, I just learned English in my twenties, and I started learning Russian in my mid twenties, let's say. And I spent a few years to learn English and a few years to learn Russian, and that's of course something which is not easy to do, to acquire a new language. It's something very complex to do, but it's not so different the amount of time that I invest in the language, in my first language, which is Portuguese. When I acquired the Portuguese language, when I was a child, I spent many years, 10 years, 20 years, 20 plus years just getting exposure in the language. In Brazil right now, everything is in Portuguese. Even I feel annoyed when something in my computer or in my phone is in Portuguese because I don't like that. But unfortunately, like for example, I just created a account on Reddit, and they start to recommend to me posts from Brazil, and I'm not interested in see something in Portuguese. I'm more interested to see stuff in English or in Russian or another language to learn more languages. And okay, but the comparison between adult children to learn languages is not a fair comparison because, of course, it's easier to learn a language in this stage as a child to start to learn a new language because it's something real. The critical period hypothesis, it's a thing. It's a very basic theory, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible to learn a language in a very, let's say, satisfying way, and you achieve a satisfying level in the language to be able to communicate with people, to be able to connect with people. That's good enough. In the maybe you wouldn't be so good as someone who learning any language or a second or third language since they are a child, but at least it's still possible. In the, like Steve Crash said, for many years, the the language acquisition device never shuts off, which is good news, but it's not perfect, of course. But I still believe in that if you spend the same amount of time you spend to learn your native language, you still can achieve good level in the language, even if were you weren't gonna sound like let's say a native. And that's not my goal. My goal is other, which is create connections, be able to let's say to battle boredom because I am very bored guy. That's a good way to avoid boredom. Learn languages is speak with people in a foreign language, which is challenging in the or challenger, and it's at the same time is a great opportunity to have networking and data opportunities. And that's the secret behind the Tender app application, which is a language app disguise of a dating app. And no, it's the opposite of that. Okay, it's yeah, it's a dating app. It's guys of a language app. That's the correct way to put it out. And the okay, but I have free alternative to that, which is Telegram. We have a language chat club, which you could have motivation to learn English as a second language and to learn another language with people who speak the language you are interested in. Because the number one language is English, but we can attract people to the group who speak another language. Or first foreigner, which is not Brazilian, because I started with a group of Brazilian people, and there are a lot of Brazilians there, and the one guy from Uganda. That's a beginning, and of course over time I hope to bring your opportunity to people to who speak as a native language, another languages to speaking in that language as well, and to chat, in like in a polyglot community. It's a kind of the the opportunity to it's like Tandem, but it's free. For a while, go there. That's that's a, let's say, scarcity trigger. I translated from Portuguese to English because I don't know how is the name in English, the original term. But okay, for this video, it's gone well, and see you in the next video.